there's not really very solid evidence. Just because of that,
Not really any solid evidence. There is no evidence. Zero. Not solid. Not any.
there
Zero.
is evidence.
It's all make believe. And the Bible isn't evidence besides there's a book called the Bible. You know, the Bible actually has, there's tons of writing, and it's just accumulated into 4 guys that they think that's the best, 4 stories of Jesus. I mean, there's tons of stories of Jesus. I mean, the reason why there's tons of stories probably because Jesus was a very common name back then. It was like Brad. Right? So there's lots of Brads, there's lots of Jesus back then, and a lot of people did call themselves disciples because back then we didn't have the intelligence to be like, that's total bunk.
You know why they called themselves the disciples? People called themselves Jesus and the disciples after Jesus was actually gone from the earth. Like, they actually, people were like, oh, I'm Jesus. Oh, I'm the disciples.
No, at the same time, Jesus...
They did that afterwards.
Nishad, Jesus wasn't the first dude to ever say, I'm God. People have been saying it. People say it nowadays. Everyone has... Every stage in our era...
The Mormon religion was actually founded by Joseph or some shit.
Right,
Some guy found some book in the forest.
Yeah, the Mormon religion is so dumb I can't even begin to start.
That's on a different table.
That's on we're talking real, actual. The Christian argument has much better premises than the Mormon religion.
See, I think you're basing your argument off of something, basically, which boils down to the Egyptians with the chariot and the sun and stuff like that, and the sun god and all that crazy shit.
Well, people believe in crazy things in Jesus' time too that now we know is total fake. You don't. People thought tons of weird things like the exorcisms and stuff like that are obvious, or witches.
Yeah.
Right. We don't believe in witches anymore, do we?
No.
Do you believe that someone could be... Right, but back then they did because we weren't intelligent enough to really study. In fact, we think people are crazy, they're witches, but really it's just a chemical imbalance in their brain. It's how they're hardwired.
It's called being a psychopath.
Right, and we're intelligent enough, but back then it was just common knowledge. If you said no, there wasn't witches, they would be like, what? Of course they are. Look at this crazy person. They're obviously whacked out. Well, the reason why they're whacked out is because they're psychotic.
Yeah.
Okay, this has been a good discussion. I'll put it up on YouTube.